Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for inquiring about this or any Watchbox watch. Email me directly for pricing at tmosso at thewatchbox.com. Today, we're discussing a watch that launched at Bosworld 2016. This is the Rolex Oyster Perpetual Cosmograph Daytona, reference 116508. Now, this model famously launched alongside a blue dial white gold equivalent, a pair of colorful precious metal Rolex Daytonas, and traditionally sized, it is an impressive watch. In yellow gold, the timepiece is 40 millimeters in diameter by 12.3 millimeters thick. Lug-to-lug, it is 46.5 millimeters with a 50.5 millimeter end-link-to-end-link total distance across the wrist and a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, and you can see it wears well. Fitting flush, it's one of the thinnest sports watches that Rolex offers, and it will slide easily under a cuff. After all, full yellow gold, it should be viable as a dress watch, but it's also a sports watch, and thus it has the robust 3-link Oyster style bracelet. You can see how low it is, easily sliding underneath a dress sleeve. Here's your down the barrel shot for fit. I believe you could wear this watch on a wrist as small as 13 centimeters circumference. Oyster bracelet, conforming end link, better mating it to the case and integrating the look. Tapered links down towards the clasp. You can see that we have polished centers, polished outer faces, satin finished shoulders. Removable links are fixed by screws, and we have them on each side. We have a double locking Oyster clasp. You can see internally thick gauge gold. There is a spring-loaded lift lock system based on a beak and a hook, and those two interlock, and then a second lock in clamshell form comes down. There's a little kerf so you can dig your nail in underneath the 5-pointed coronet and open up the clasp. Internally, we have the 5 millimeter Easy Link, tool-free snap-in, snap-out adjustment. And then if you look carefully, you can see that there are actually 3 divots with little tracks leading into them. So you can use your strap tool to change the anchoring point of the bracelet inside the clasp and fine-tune the fit without removing links. Taking a quick look, you can see that this is all high grade and all Rolex. Rolex has its own foundry, it smelts its own gold, it makes its cases, clasps, and bracelets. Taking a quick look at the bezel, you can see it's a tachymeter, motorsports inspired, using the chronograph and the tach. It's particularly easy to time, say, a race car over a kilometer, and it is important to note that the Rolex Daytona is the winner's gift for each winning driver in each class-winning car at each January's 24 Hours of Daytona. This isn't the NASCAR event, it's the sports car event, and it's made the Rolex Daytona the most coveted trophy in all of motorsports. Now, the timepiece has screw-down crown and screw-down chronograph pushers. With an Oyster case back, it has 100-meter water resistance, and you will note 3 dots with the center dot largest. That is a trip-lock crown in gold. That's how you know the dots. Green dial, metallic sunburst, yellow gold hands, indices, chapter rings for the sub-registers, and Rolex crown logo. Plenty of luminescence. We'll take a quick look. Rolex makes its own lume. It glows blue. It's called chromolite. And we have a little bit of red on this dial in the sub-registers as well as the Daytona script. Now, the watch has a number of subsidiary setting functions, and we'll demonstrate all of them right here. First things first, hacking seconds. When you pull this crown out, you stop the balance. You stop the constant seconds, you stop the chronograph. This is for setting the watch against a reference time. Now, we also have a column wheel for starting, stopping, and, when necessary, resetting the chronograph. The column wheel gives it crisp feel and sound. We also have a vertical clutch, so it starts without any jump or stagger to the chronograph seconds hand, and always resets precisely to the index at 12. You can also leave the chrono running full-time if you want, because it's a vertical clutch, there's no additional wear and tear. The movement features a rotor on a ball bearing winding bidirectionally for a 72-hour power reserve, a 8 beat per second rate, pivots on 44 joules. It is a COSC certified Swiss chronometer, but Rolex goes beyond that, taking the certified chronometer movement, casing it up, testing it in 6 positions so it runs no worse than -2 + 2 seconds per day. Hence the nomenclature superlative chronometer. It now means something. The watch also has a full balance bridge with a free sprung balance for shock tolerance and an overcoil hairspring, so in any position in those tests, it will keep consistent time with little effect due to gravity. That overcoil is also made of a blue oxidized niobium zirconium alloy called parachrom blue that is highly anti-magnetic, so the watch is water resistant, shock resistant, and resistant to magnetism. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.